Greetings my lovely cats. In today's video we will discuss one of the most interesting features on Age of Empires Mobile, the Signet rings. Before we go, if you like this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more educational videos. Signet rings is going to massively change how you play the game. The reason is simple. Those rings add an extra skill to every hero you own, allowing for more customized marches and interesting builds. To give you an example, some heroes do benefit from double attack option, and their whole build depends on how many times your heroes attack. And one of the most famous heroes for such builds are Attila the Hun. He has 35% chance to give your whole march a double attack buff. This double attack buff benefits anything that has a secondary strike on it. So, a signature secondary strike or secondary strike skills has a chance to be triggered if your hero does a normal attack. Which means a secondary strike with 26% chance has a 26% chance to be activated once per normal attack. Which means if your hero attack twice, this means your hero gets a chance to trigger all of their secondary strikes 2 times, and each instance here has 26% chance, and of course at different chances per secondary strike. And since it's a chance, you might be even lucky enough to trigger your own signature strike skill twice, as I have done enormous test, and I found out that signature skills could be indeed activated 2 times per turn if you are extremely lucky, but this is the case only for secondary strikes. So what if I told you some rings can allow your heroes to obtain the ability to double attack at 100% chance? Sick, isn't it? Not only that, it improves your signature skill activation chance too. Some rings gives you a massive damage reduction to your march. Some rings allows you to steal stats, which could benefit heroes like Annabelle. Some rings debuff your own heroes in order to improve the commander's damage and abilities, which means you can equip such rings on a support hero that does no damage in order for you to improve your commander damage. Some rings will have the ability to shut down enemy active hero skills. So someone like King Arthur, whose main damage comes from an active skill, will find it hard to deal damage if silence did hit his march without any immune protection. So how could you obtain those rings? Once your server reaches 15th milestone, check out your monument. Through the monument you can actually know when is your server is going to have those. Your heroes can equip rings if they are level 20. Rings comes on 3 different tiers: legendary, epic and rare. You will be getting few blues early on, rest could be obtained by using hammers. You get 1 hammer for free every day, and you can buy 20 hammers every week once you reach VIP 5. Hammer costs here 500 Empire coins. If you wish to use more, then you have to buy the rest. Hammers doesn't give you directly rings, but it gives you coins or sand. Those coins can be used to exchange for rings, while the sand could be used to upgrade those rings. Sand could be obtained through 3 methods so far: by using hammer, epic store, or by daily bundles. So from the blue rings, I couldn't really find any other ring that is better than Ring of Clover. Nothing else justify wasting your resources. Ring of Clover has a chance to reduce your troop damage taken by 25%, which is really freaking a lot. I tried to check any other ring, I couldn't really justify wasting resources in any of them. However, keep in mind something, that resources for blue rings are completely different than the resources of the purple ring. So if it were me, I will only take the Ring of Clover from the rings and then head to the purple and pick up a couple of purple rings. That's basically it. For the purple rings, we can start by the cavalry march, the current cavalry march we are having. By the way, this is not for the future builds, this is only for the current builds available in season 1, and we have Hannibal march for it. So one of the nice rings for Hannibal himself is the Ring of the Lion. It increases the might, strategy and armor, which he needs basically all of them. However, I believe there is another choice for him, which is Ring of the Crow. The difference is that Ring of the Crow is an active, which means it has a chance to be activated per turn, not a secondary strike, so it doesn't depend really on your normal attack. And what it does here, it steals 55 might, strategy and armor from the enemy commander. However, keep in mind something. When you steal stats from the enemy commander, this means that difference is actually double in this case. Let me clarify. So you have stolen 55 might from the enemy, for example. This means the enemy has 55 might less, and you will have a 55 might more, which is an exchange of 110, which means the enemy is going to hit you with a weaker attack, and you are going to hit him with a stronger attack. And keep in mind, you are stealing strategy and armor too, which means you are going to be more tanky and you are going to hit him harder. Plus, this has nothing to do with the buff when Hannibal activates his commander skill, which even buffs you more by the amount of stolen stats or any reduction that happened to the enemy. So yes, Twist of Fate is a freaking overpowered ring for Hannibal if you plan to use it. Now comes the second most famous build, which is the Bikeman. If you are a Bikeman, you should consider these rings. Of course, Ring of Clover can literally fit anywhere because the reduction is just fucking good. But when it comes to the Bikeman, you might actually want to choose your own path. There is a path which is going to make you more tanky. And remember, your damage dealing here comes from the counter. So if you are a tank, this means you are going to deal more damage. If you choose to be glass cannon, then you should focus on might stats and anything that actually gives you stats. But anyway, this is my own recommendation. It's not the best, but I consider it very good. Let's see. I chose Ring of the Boar here because it increases the chance of your troop passive skills by 42% when your troops unit fall below 6%. If you paid attention to Leo actually has a similar skill that increases the damage of his troops when he fall below 75% and 50% if he's not really upgraded. At the same time, his damage comes from the passive skills because he's a counter, and counter in this game is passive skills. Ring of the Butcher here is going to give you a skill called Armor of Steel. For the first 18 seconds, upon you entering the battle, reduces your troop normal attack and secondary strike skill by 31%, which is really freaking good. But keep in mind something, that this does not last long, which means after 18 seconds you are going to lose the buff. So if you are planning for a long battle, I don't think this is going to be as good as the rest of the rings. As for Ring of Lion, obviously going to be used in your commander. It adds might, strategy and armor. There might be better options, but I believe this is one of the best options when it comes to the purple ring. As for my final choice here, I don't want to give you so many choices so you don't get confused, but all of these rings are actually very fucking good when it comes to the bike build. Now for the bike build, you would want to equip Ring of the Falcon for Frederick. There are other choices, but this is one which I prefer, and I will give you my own reason. First of all, out of the bikemen, he is the most, supposed to be the most healer in your team, the most hero that is going to heal in your team, especially if you manage to get him at 5 stars. So what does this ring do? Here is grants one of the following effects every 9 seconds. So it's a permanent effect, it's not gonna be only one time thing. After 9 seconds, you're either going to get 210% of healing, or you are going to get damage reduction, and both of them are really fucking good. At the same time, this guy automatically heals you, and this happens once every 2 minutes with a lot of heal that is base of your armor, and provide you a damage reduction too. So I believe he's the only one who's going to actually benefit from the healing and the defense, and this again happens when you drop below 50%, but if you upgraded him to 5 stars, the healing is going to start upon you reaching 75% of your troop count. This is my own personal picks, by the way. You don't have to follow it, but this is what I recommend for the bikeman build. As for our final and most famous build, the archers, there are actually many nice rings for the archers, since as we all know, archers are straightforward damage dealers. We can obviously and safely pick up the most and the most beneficial when it comes to the damage for the archers. So we have here the ring All Out, which I really fucking love a lot. It reduces, yes, all of your hero's armor by 20, but it increases the commander's might by 105, and you can equip it to your support archer inside the march. You don't have to equip it to the commander, by the way, and it does increase the commander's might damage and add an extra troop attack to your march. Ring of the Lion is not bad ring, it's okay-ish ring, it's not bad, since it gives you might, strategy and armor, which an initial stats, but if you are going to go glass cannon all the way damage, there are much better options. There is another ring which I like if you are going for the double normal attack build, which allows your heroes to double attack a lot. After every 9 normal attacks of your troops, increase the damage of all of your heroes' normal attack and secondary strike skills by up to 25%, and there is a might bonus for it, and reduces their armor by 35%. So you are basically going to turn yourself into even more glass cannon for it, but it's really freaking strong ring to have. There is a ring, but if you believe in the randomness and luck, this ring reduces random enemy hero damage by 22% and increases one of your heroes' damage by 22% too. If you go into the details, it is 100% chance. 100% chance. So as soon as you enter the battle, one of the enemy heroes is going to lose 22% damage, and one of your heroes are going to gain 22% of damage. Obviously, if you had this damage into your commander, then yes, you are in luck. But if you are not, I mean, if the commander is not the one who is going to get the damage, you still are going to benefit from the damage, but not as much as if your commander actually is the person who are getting the buff. So guys, with this, we come to an end to our video. I hope I was able to give you some valuable information. If you guys want me to discuss the golden rings and other builds, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave me a comment with your questions. That's basically it, and have a wonderful day.
In a city full of chaos and a tangled web of streets lives a furry feline king, the coolest cat you'll ever meet. He's got muscles like a lion, a strut that's straight up mean, with a swagger